Just a few announcements. And this isn't based on anything that happened 38 minutes ago, but a few ground rules. Those people announcing an honoree, 2 minutes or under. Those people accepting, 2 minutes or under. Again, it's nothing that happened 38 minutes ago. Also, if you're on a panel and you're asked for a one-word answer, again, this happened years ago, not at any panel in particular. If you're asked for a one-word answer and you give 97 words, let's bring that down. That's all. How about we bring it down? If you take anything from it tonight, just take it down, right? We have a lot of fun. And again, what a great idea to give marketers alcohol for 3 hours and then ask them questions. Isn't it a great idea? We are killing it, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of killing it, let's welcome Chet back to the stage.
Yeah, I feel like a list today, right? We're going to get started. While you continue with your dinner and desserts will be served, we're going to get started with our next panel and our introduction of honorees. So to help me, to help moderate our next panel, I'm going to bring to this, welcome to the stage, Ken Kreitzer from CanVets Media. Ken's a fellow board member and a great, great guy, just a super guy, and he's going to be moderating for us. So it's going to get settled. I'd like to ask Vin to find Britt Patney. Is she? There she is. Who's going to introduce our next honoree, Jill Burkhardt.
No? Okay, there we go. Great. I am so honored to present the next honoree, the Silver Apples. And I will admit, I am not a millennial, so I have a piece of paper in front of me versus a phone. This individual embodies all the traits needed to be a highly effective leader, doing so with an extraordinary amount of empathy and understanding for the goals and the needs of the individuals in the team. She is a fierce advocate for her organization as well as the people she manages. Please join me in congratulating my friend, the Senior Vice President of Development for North Shore Analytic America, Jill Burkhardt.
I'm thrilled to be standing here with an honor to accept this award. As the Senior Vice President of Development for North Shore Analytic America, I manage a lean but outstanding team. It works because we are like-minded and laser-focused on reaching our objectives. We live and breathe raising the most funds possible year after year, and we understand the accountability that comes with in ensuring that our 80-year-old no-kill mission continues. We believe in our four core mission words: rescue, nurture, adopt, and educate. I'm also privileged to work hand in hand with strategic partners, some here tonight, who have shown me they too do everything they can to help our team accomplish goals, which ultimately rescues even more homeless animals in need. I would like to congratulate tonight's honorees and thank the former Silver Apple Award winners for leading the way. I feel lucky to be counted among them. Finally, a heartfelt thanks to the Marketing Club of New York, especially Chet, who made this nomination possible. This highly valuable affiliation delivers consistent and timely insight only to better our worlds. Gratefully, this award will serve as a daily reminder for me to continue to strive for excellence in the life-saving work that I do every day. Thank you again.
Congratulations, Jill, and make sure you take home those North Shore Animal League calendars. Today. Oh, Jim, Jim's not going to
Jim's here, yeah.
Deliver to you. It's time to honor our friend, Alan Pratt.
Awesome. I'm back. I see you looking a little nervous over there.
Yeah. Again? This guy.
Haven't started yet. All right. I know we're on the time. All right. So I am honored to introduce Alan Kraft, my friend and business partner for many decades as a 2024 Silver Apple Award recipient. So Alan started his marketing career over 40 years ago at Dependable List, a forerunner of specialists in SMS. Before I knew him, by the way, I was still in junior high, just for and a few other stops in the industry before he founded Media Horizons at the ripe old age of 30. And his timing was perfect. For those of you who were around back then, there were a couple of major postal increases, which for the first time made direct mail expensive. And things like alternate and insert media became the vogue. But they were handled kind of by accident at the big list companies or by small family companies. And Alan saw the potential to do it bigger and better and create a true agency focused on these media channels. And the vision materialized, and within a few years, Media Horizons is working with blue chip brands, companies like Wall Street Journal, Book of the Month, Chase, Aura Clothes, among others, in print inserts, alternate broadcasts. Agency continued to grow, transitioned into digital, obviously, creative, and analytics. And after a brief hiatus running Cherrydale Farms, Alan returned as Chief Revenue Officer, doing what he loved to do and what he really was exceptional at, meeting with new prospects and clients to solve their marketing challenges. Fast forward to 2020, and Alan was instrumental in the sale of the agency to Central National Gottesman, which is a $9 billion paper and packaging distribution company. Not one to sit still. Alan has since co-founded BIN 113, where he combines his passion for wine, travel, and great food to help U.S. wineries build their direct-to-consumer businesses. Congrats, Alan, on your Silver Apple Award.
I see trees of green. Red rest of the day. Dog singing loud. Everything to myself.
Good evening. I'm not a millennial.
I make card carrying over. And so I've got a piece of paper and the font is like 28. So I still think I need my glasses. But anyway, I have a bunch of remarks. We'll get to those in a moment. But I want to just comment on some things I heard earlier this evening by some of the other honorees. Direct media was mentioned, Unimail was mentioned, Jim was mentioned, and all this is where I started my career in 1976. I'm going to ask for a show of hands. How many of you know that there was a list broker softball league back in the 1970s? I see one hand way back. I see two hands there. And how many of you know why the direct mail or list broker softball league ended after 2 glorious seasons? The simple answer is there was a fist fight that took place between our company who handled lists and Richard Stevens. If you guys remember the name Richard Stevens, they were beating us in the game, but I will tell you that we kicked their asses. And the other comment I wanted to make, and it was Vincent's comments earlier in the slides, where he mentioned mag tapes. Well, I've been in the list business, or had been in the list business long enough to remember what came before mag tape. So by a show of hands, how many of you know what a Cheshire label is? Yes. So I've been around for a while. So I just wanted to comment on those things that I heard earlier. So I'd like to thank the Club New York and all of the members, the board members, and all of that for this great honor. I've been in this business for almost 50 years, and it's really special to be honored by a group of my peers. And thank you all for being here tonight. I wanted to mention also my son-in-law, Louis Schultz, who I thought was Louis Kraft. Okay. The name is like hyphenated. Okay, what was that? Louis, congratulations. Your career is on a great trajectory, and we're also proud of you. And what a wonderful thing that your mom and your sister happened to be in New York tonight, and they happen to be able to join us for this special occasion. So Michelle and Sarah, so I'm a big believer in success really stems from our support systems. And in my case, my support system, very much is my family. And so I'd like to thank my sons, Jonathan and Jeremy, who are here tonight. I'd like to thank my daughter, Caroline, and my aforementioned son-in-law, Louis. And most of all, I'd like to thank my wife, Cheryl. You guys have put up with a lot all of these years, a lot of long hours, endless travel. I missed a lot of Little League practices. I missed a lot of band concerts. You guys are always giving and willing to put up with the fact that I was not always around. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't for you, we never would have been successful at Media Horizons. And in fact, little known fact, Cheryl actually helped us win our first big account at Media Horizons back in 1988. So honey, thank you for everything you've done for me, for us, and for you. Little known fact that Jim, my business partner for all these years, when Jim came to work at Media Horizons, having foregone a career on Wall Street to work in the basement of our old house in Laurel, Connecticut. The first day he came, and Jim was at Honda Accord. What was that? It was old. It was like an old car. It didn't need oil on our driveway. And at the end of the day, Cheryl informed me that I needed to let Jim know that he can have a parking driveway. True story of the parking at the end of the cul-de-sac. So then finally, just a word about Jim. We've been business partners for, it's actually, I think, 35 plus years. We ran Media Horizons. We sold Media Horizons. We've been through a lot of great times together. We've been through a lot of really difficult times together. We've always had each other's backs. Now we've started in 113, which is a passion of ours, combining marketing with wine, the things that we love the most. People ship wine to our houses all the time now. It's like really cool. from me, and I thank you for all of that, and I thank you for nominating Confidence for tonight, and I thank you all for being here and for sharing this award with all the other honorees. This is really
For our eighth and final Silver Apple honoree, it's my honor to say a few words about my boss and longtime colleague, Lou Mastro. I want you to see I was going to ask the venerable table, but I don't know, they're too lively. So I better not mess this up. You know, Lou came to our field from a public affairs background in the 90s, first at the Direct Marketing Association. And this guy, over his career, I can tell you, he makes wonderful things happen. For the past decade plus, he's been the power behind the curtain of the internet. His leadership of the, not Al Gore, his leadership of the Ad Choices program results in 1.5 trillion blue triangles with the eye on the internet being globally served, on desktop, on connected devices, on mobile devices, you name it. Perhaps the most ubiquitous symbol on the entirety of the internet. And that's not hyperbole. The Ad Choices Privacy Program is imported from fair information practice principles from the offline world to the online world, unlocking the ability as advertisers to leverage responsible data collection for targeted relevant ads. And oh, what magic has happened since then for brands, for consumers, and for the global economy. And right here at home in New York. Lou has been the chief steward of this dynamic program because he has one, cross-industry support, two, a great team, and three, an adaptability to watch innovations in our industry and map that always to doing the right thing by the consumer. But let me mention that in all his achievements and experiences, he's motivated by a level of care, concern, and empathy that is truly felt by those with whom he interacts. Certainly all of us at DAA. Sometimes life and work is a tightrope. Lou has that courage to walk it and take us stakeholders with him. So I don't think Lou ever loses his cool. He navigates and delivers. So let's welcome Lou to the stage, our final Silver Apple winner.
Thank you, Marketing Club of New York, and on behalf of stalling a little bit, I hope you enjoyed the extra bars of Bruce Springsteen's Thunder Road, my favorite song. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Chad. Thank you to the Marketing Club board. If someone had told me when I did take that job at the DMA many years ago that I'd be receiving such a special award, I'd literally say, what, came from New Jersey? It doesn't seem plausible, it doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem like it should happen. I feel humbled. For those of you who know me, And there's a few here, and thank you all for coming to support. You know that I tend to go on. I don't tend to be brief. I know that there's some snickers going on in the venerable table in particular about that. But I'm going to try my best here tonight. I was privileged and I was overwhelmed to work with and become friends with so many smart, experienced, and committed people at DMA and throughout this industry, this wonderful industry, that I never thought it would be possible to join the pantheon that is the Silver Apples. As soon as I set foot on 1126th Avenue, for those of you who remember, I knew I had found a home that I didn't know I could stay in that home and thrive in that home for as long as I have. And I am indebted to all of you for what you've given me over the years. I've been energized, invigorated, educated, humbled, and renewed by the spirit of the community. And I've been roused by its challenges, and I mean that sincerely. It's about you, it's about your challenges, and what can we do as an industry to help you grow your businesses, help you connect with consumers. Running the industry's Ad Choices program, for me, has been the highlight of my career, and it is an honor and a trust that I take seriously, as Chet alluded to. I've been blessed. I've been blessed with members who have become mentors, mentors who've become friends, and friends who've become like family. You're all here tonight, and thank you very much for being here. As I say those words, let me just list off some folks who have meant a world to me, and I hope you all have mentors and people in your life support systems that are like these people. I'm thinking about past honorees like Jerry Sirisak, Stu Angus, Marlo Kaplowitz, Allison Pepper, who's here in the room tonight, Sheila Colplaisher, Tony Hadley, Bob Winson, Joni Gitlitz, Liz Kislick, Bruce Beagle, who's here in the room tonight, Ruth Stevens, who's here in the room tonight, Joanne Humphrey Dunn, Chet Dalzell, who's in the room tonight, Matt Bloomberg, John Montgomery. All these people have been incredibly supportive of me and my career over the years, and I can't thank them or this industry enough. I also want to give a particular shout out to Bob Leodis, Paul McDonough, and Catherine Ferrara, who joined me tonight in being honored. They've been instrumental in helping me in my career, but also helping the industry galvanize around privacy. And as I look around, there are future honorees in the room too, Chad. You may want to take some note there. Let me also shout out DA board members who are in the room, Chris Oswald and Rachel Thomas, past board member, for their collaboration and friendship throughout the years, as well as all my friends at table 1, 3, 7, and I don't know what number that is back there, but whatever that is, the venerable table over on the back right. I also want to shout out to a man who was taken from us a little too soon, Ron Plesser. Some of you did know him. He was a great mentor and a great supporter of mine when, frankly, no one should have been. I was way too young to have supporters like him, but he saw something in me, and God bless him that he did. Thank you. And then there's my home. Then there's my home, my real family. I talked to you a little bit about my industry family, but then there's my real family, sitting over there at table 7. My wife, my partner, my best friend, and the reason that you've heard Thunder Road tonight, Mary, my wife. My son Max, who, God bless him, this is not a school night for kids in Jersey, I don't know if you know that, but he had certainly better offers than this tonight, and he chose to be here. Thank you for being here. My daughter Olivia, that is not here tonight because she is a recent graduate and in her first job, and she's killing it, and I am very proud that she is not here tonight. Also a shout out to my sister Maria and her family, my brother-in-law Bruce, and my niece Alex for spending the night with us tonight. Yes, I am truly rich in blessings. I hope that I've done as much for my real family and the industry family as they've done for me. And thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the trust that you have placed in me to represent the very best of this industry. And thank you to the Silver Apples.
Thank you, Lou. So, next to round out the panel, we're going to hear about our Apples of Excellence honorees. A few years back, the club crafted the Apples of Excellence to call attention to focused areas in their field that we believe as a club deserve a heightened amount of recognition because of how vital each is to the growth and practice of our field, which changes all the time. One is advocacy, the other is innovation. These awards are not bestowed every year, yet there are times when narratives are such as they are tonight that two honorees this year rise to that recognition. So tonight is one of those special ones. First, I'd like to ask Alicia Biederman to help us spotlight our Apple of Excellence honoree for advocacy this year, Catherine Ferreira of Unity. Alicia.
It took me one call, about 5 seconds into the call, to realize that Catherine is a real powerhouse in this business. She's a superstar for brand safety and engagement on behalf of Unilever, where she holds the role of General Counsel of North America. In this role, she not only champions ethics in her company, she's a force in her efforts to elevate the entire industry. Through speaking at marketing conferences and participating in multiple trade organizations, she helps devise ethical standards and best practices for our field. Her career has also put her in front of several industry bodies and in their industry advertising divisions. She's also a graduate of New York Law School. It's hard to sum up all the amazing things she's done and all the work she's done in ethics and policy issues, work that directly affects every single person in this room. Catherine, thank you for everything you've done for the industry, and congratulations on your award. Everything that I've
I've done it with the ANA, I've done it with the DAA. It's so great to see everybody here in the room tonight. And so, it's groups like the Marketing Club that make this work possible. So, thank you. And then, of course, I have to thank my family, who I brought them here tonight because sometimes they wonder why I work the way I do. It doesn't feel like work. I think they needed a little bit to appreciate it. So they've been my village, supporting me this whole entire time. And I have the luxury and the ability to give back in that time. Really, not many companies will allow you to spend even a little bit of time on something other than exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And so I think being able to give back and working somewhere where they actually recognize the value of giving back to the industry and that mutual world that we all live in, for me is, the reason why I do what I do. So thank you to the Marketing Club and the board. Thank you, everyone. And
Congratulations to Catherine. Thank you. Next, I'd like to turn our attention to the other apple of excellence, innovation. We call it actually the disruptor award. That's how much we care about innovation. And disruption, what does that mean? Well, if you meet our next honoree tonight, Sturista CEO AJ Gupta, whose entire career to date perfectly exemplifies one of innovation in all its disruptive beauty and messiness. So, for most of you, to help me introduce AJ, I want to invite Vincent to make a few words.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend AJ Gupta, no relation to Vin Gupta, take that however you like. My last joke of the night, and I promise, take it for what you will. I met AJ 15 years ago at one of the DMA events. And he and I were the young guys. We had the privilege of going. Used to be a lot of older people who got to go, senior people, we got to go, and I was like, oh my God, a young person. We gravitated towards each other, and of course he asked me, because I was cool back then, and still cool today, how do I get into all these parties? Can you please help me? I was like, sure man, I can get you into the Experian party or the Epsilon party, just you incognito, man. He showed up with 7 people in Sturista orange sweatshirts, and I was like, this isn't incognito. But he's like, no, this is how I get my brand out there. He was disrupting the game 15 years ago. We always decided, one day we're gonna work together. Let's see when it happened. And Sturista is one of those companies that, in October, produced more revenue in October than they did in all of 2019. In 1 month, 2019. When was I hired, AJ? 2019? And then it's just been like this since? Yeah, so you can share this award with me if you like, yeah. But the reason he's successful, he lets his employees be themselves. AJ, let's start a podcast, man. I'm always like this energy, and you're low key. It'll work. 73,000 listeners to each episode later, it works. Let's see what we're gonna do. AJ, let's buy our own technology. We buy our own technology. Our partners love us. We are real. We are genuine. And he's the reason the guy's 40 years old and truly disrupting this industry. I love being at Sturista. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your disruptor, Innovation Award, Mr. AJ Gupta.
been officially listed as 28 for so long. How did they know I was 40? But then I saw the date for this event and I was like, maybe I can flee Texas right in time so it would work out well. So I said I'll be here. Thank you, Vincent. Vincent and I, as he mentioned, we were one of the few young people, so he's been like a brother to me for the last decade or so. And my family is full of people that are talented. They can sing and they can play instruments, they can draw. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of those talents, so speaking in public in India, they do these events, talent shows. I always struggled. I was like, I don't really know if I have any talent. But I figured out I could dream about doing stuff. And by the way, for the young people, that's how I become a marketer. So as a result, all these years later, Storista has become bigger beyond any dreams that I had for the company. And all of it is credit due to my team. Some of them are here, but there's about 200 of us now across the continent. So thank you to my team for being there and having my back day in and day out. And I was told I have 15 minutes, so this will be a while. So 15 years ago, I Googled how to start a company. Until then, I had worked on a failed presidential campaign and I had a master's in creative writing, which turns out is not great for employment. No one told me that when I was paying the money to do it. And I had $500 in my account, but I decided this is what I wanted to do. I went to one of the DMA shows and I was like, this is crazy. People actually pay you money to stalk people. I was like, I think I can do this. So that's how I kind of accidentally ended in marketing. During the first 2 years, I pitched to I know exactly 107 companies. Every single one of them was a no. But being a creative writing major, I'm obviously an optimistic guy. So that didn't really bother me. But eventually I figured I needed to make some sales because true disruption is caused by desperation. And when you have eaten enough McDonald's and Chipotle and Panda Express, you want to make a sale. So eventually I started to be able to sell things and not just make bad PowerPoints. 15 years ago, I would have put you guys through a 30-minute PowerPoint. So mostly I want to thank you guys for embracing me in Storista. There's so many of you that I have known over the years. And really, there's a quote that I keep on my desk. I've had it since college. It's from a poet called Khalil Gibran. The true worth of a man is not in what they have accomplished, but what they can accomplish in the future. So thank you all for believing what I and Storista could do and for having me here. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, I'm in the meter microphone. Not that loud enough. Well, a couple announcements before we start. The auction is going to end at 9:55. So the auction, keep those going. Also, we have about 15 minutes for the presentation. After 10, we go 10:01. They charge us like $78,000 a year. But thank you guys. Ken Creighton.
Thank you, John. What an honor it is for me to be here, John, on stage. Now, do you do press conferences or press conferences or something? Or this is really neat to be on stage with these distinguished honorees tonight. And we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce our honorees. We're going to make everything lightly. So, we're trying to story into it, but I want to talk about it. I remember flying that phone at her done it. So many of them have done it. And her one day said, Ken, we're going into New York. We were up in Tuckahoe on the West Coast. He said, going to New York, we're going to the Biltmore Hotel, go to the 100 Billion Club lunch. And that's how I got introduced to this wonderful organization.
It's not real money. It's not real money.
Hey, Jim, tell us about an mentor of yours. Tell us about what an mentor is.
It is real money, but it's nice.
So, you know, the real reason I learned about direct marketing was while I was in grad school, I was working for the first Hillary Clinton campaign in 2007. And it's really learned everything there is to know about kind of micro-targeting. It was not a world that I knew anything about. I was originally going to be working on writing copy for marketing, but as campaigns go by fast. So it's not really one particular person, but the whole campaign, even though it didn't quite go as well as it hoped, ended up learning a lot the first time I learned how to use SQL and data analytics.
Thank you, Catherine.
I worked for Andrea Levine when I first got out of law school, and she, you know, if you are familiar with the National Advertising Division, she is somewhat of a legend. She's really put that organization on the map and really scaled what they were all about. And when she hired me, she looked at me and she said, you know, this job is something that usually, you know, is for somebody who's had a lot more experience than you have. But I believe in you. Don't let me down. And, you know, I think having somebody who believes in you, but is going to hold you accountable for doing your part was incredibly important kind of early in my career.
Lou, you talked about your mentors in your introduction. If I may, on that.
Yeah, sure. Lightning round, so I won't spend too much, but many of you who know me know this, that people like Ron Cluster and Bob Woodson were incredibly instrumental in bringing me into this profession, this industry, but also nurturing a real curiosity and a love of bringing community to it.
And I was blessed early in my career to have a number of mentors, but hands down, the person who made the greatest impact on my career and on my life happened to be Jim Capico's father, Ed Capico. May he rest in peace. Ed was not only the original partner in Media Horizons, he had been Cheryl's boss at a company called Media People back in the early 80s, and Ed was somebody who not only was able to teach me about business and entrepreneurship, but taught me about how to be a better father, and a better husband, and a better person. And I wish he was here tonight, because I'd like to thank him for all of those things.
A bit off topic, I just want to say a couple people have apologized for having paper tonight, but after 30 years in the direct mail marketing industry, I will never apologize for having paper. It is the better, so I think you understand that. And as far as a mentor, I'm glad AJ confirmed that you don't always have to have a mentor. It's certainly a gift, so if you have one, count your blessings. But what you do is you go through the industry and you admire people and you hear things, and what you try to do is you emulate the best advice that you hear, and that becomes your mentor.
Yeah, that's great. Let me ask our honorees a little bit about leadership. I work at West Point, where they call it the world's premier leadership development academy. Tell us about, AJ, what does leadership mean to you, and what do you want to see in young people in your company with leadership based on?
Yeah, I think for me, leadership is really leading from the front, but also making sure you're giving people room to grow and giving them the ability to make mistakes. So I think too many times young people don't want to take chances in life because they're so afraid of messing up and a very insignificant project. By not empowering them, you end up in a situation where you're not really cultivating them to be leaders. So I think true leadership means you're constantly creating new leaders.
Good, Catherine? What do you think about leadership in legal? Leadership in
I would say be the rising tide that lifts all boats. I really think it's
Lou, you're leading a lot of clients, a lot of organizations that use your service.
I feel a little humbled when I talk about leadership because I am hopeful that I am reflecting the hundreds of companies who voluntarily agree to do the best work they can. Thank you, Catherine, among others. And that's, you know, I'm hoping to reflect their leadership. So it feels like a little weird to me to be talking about that. I will say internally, inside our organization, I've heard a couple of folks say, lean and mean. Folks, we punch above our weight. We're 4 people. That $1 trillion on the contract, we are 4 human beings. And I want to point out, none of us are engineers. We're all liberal arts folks. So, in spite of that, we're able to do it. And I want to piggyback on something that AJ and Catherine just said. Curiosity is the thing. Make sure that people have room to be curious. We have a little thing that we say inside the organization. It's called fast fail. We don't care. Break it. That's fine. We'll recover. Break fast. Let's go back. And we keep doing that over and over again. And that works. You good now?
I've always equated the word leadership with the word empathy. I don't think you can be a great leader if you're not empathetic with the concerns, the needs, the goals, and the desires of the people that you're leading. And so I've always tried to be very, very mindful of those things, listen to the people who have worked for us, and try to lead them based on where they are and where they want to get to.
Jill?
Sure. In my experience, you have to be professional at all times. Serious work calls for serious action, and we are leading 4 generations now in my workplace, so they're all counting on us to do that.
Thank you. We have some great entrepreneurs here on the panel, what you say, and I wanted just to touch on what advice you have to a startup. AJ, you started a company. Alan, you did, several of you. What's the key to a startup? What do you advise them?
Yeah, so I think one of the big mistakes I see now is, especially until a few years ago, people were taking out a lot of money and spending a lot of money. And I think just because money is available, you shouldn't take the money because eventually it runs out. And to build a company, you have to, in the long run, you have to create something that's profitable and that can sustain and support itself. So just having an idea is great, but make sure you have a way to support it in the long run without taking out so much debt and so much investment that it becomes unsustainable.
Alan, would you like to try that one?
I guess be fearless, first and foremost. Be willing to take chances. Hire somebody who actually understands finance early on in the game, which is something that I didn't do at first. But I think more than anything else, if you have a dream and you really believe in that dream, and you're willing to work your ass off to accomplish that, I think you can be successful in any endeavor that you set out to be successful in.
Jill?
Well, I didn't start anything up, but I certainly have to maintain something that's very important to the organization. And just my advice is just always be a person of your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And that goes a tremendous long way.
Hey, that's great. I want to get a quick question.
Hey, Ken, could I jump in on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I did not start a company, just to be clear, but I will say this. I have been lucky enough to have gone through 2 startups, and I, especially to the students in the room or the younger folks in the room who might be making several career transitions, I will say to you, please make one of your stops be a startup company. You will learn more in a year or 2 there than you will learn anywhere else on the planet. No college, no grad school will prepare you for what you will learn in that environment. and it is instantly applicable to any other walk that you go into. It is incredibly valuable experience. Please, please, do make that a stop on your journey.
Catherine, do you have a thought? I know we're getting late, and one question when we did the interviews that really generated a lot of energy was talking about volunteer work that our honorees do and giving back to their communities. And Alan, you've got a very special program that you do up in Connecticut, taking patients to hospital visits.
So I'm a volunteer for the American Cancer Society's program that's called the Road to Recovery. And in that program, I drive cancer patients to and from their treatments. And this all stems from the fact, and I won't embarrass you, so bringing this up, but my wife Cheryl is a 36-year breast cancer survivor. I drove her to and from her treatments, and I discovered this program about 2 years ago or so. And it's the most rewarding thing I've done. Probably the most rewarding thing I've ever done, actually, is driving these folks to and from and having conversations with them and just being able to take their minds off of what they're going through and just give them sort of an outlet to talk a little bit about what their experiences are. And it's a great program, American Cancer Society, Road to Recovery. I encourage you to go to their website if you're interested in volunteerism. Check it out. It's really a worthwhile endeavor.
Very good. Catherine, want to talk about a volunteer project?
I think the most rewarding thing that I do is very informal. Over the years, I've amassed a good group of, it can be a cousin, it could be a family friend, a friend of a friend, somebody's niece or nephew who's going to law school. It started with law school, preparation, right, or interviews for an internship, help them with their resume. And a lot of times I do it with people who I work with, who, their kids are not going to law school, but it's really about just as someone who's had experience, sitting down and hearing them and helping them see themselves.
Very good, DJ.
We kind of, because we're a young company with a lot of millennials, we very early on every year we give at least $50,000 to various charities. And we let the employees pick a lot of times, or they vote and decide from the top of charities, and we found that to be very effective and also a way to engage some of the younger employees.
Yes, sure. Jill.
So I think that's a little bit of a loaded question for me. But employee volunteering comes with the territory in North Shore America, because shelter animals need your help now and forever. Obviously, working long hours, have to volunteer, the whole staff does it, lots of moans and groans, but there's a profound sense of joy that comes after you volunteer for shelter animals. So, it's just part of the job, and we wouldn't have any other way.
Absolutely. Luke?
For us, I think the most formal version of it is we do internship programs to make sure that college kids, sometimes they're in grad school, get a good foundation in some of the things that they will face in the marketing industry. This isn't the kind of press is not going to be top of mind as they come out of grad school. I'm sorry that I'm saying this as someone whose life is dedicated to privacy. I get it, but you know what? They need to know. And spending 6-8 weeks with us does that in a way that is absolutely foundational for them. We've done it for them, we've done it for young professionals, and it really does impact them no matter where they wind up going. We have some case histories of some folks who wound up being in marketing, not on the privacy compliance side, and they will benefit from that kind of experience, and we're delighted that we're able to do that.
Okay, just if we have a couple of seconds left. I have a piece of advice for our students out there on what they should do to advance their career. careers. A couple of short thoughts, AJ?
I think the most important thing is finding work experience and maybe figuring it out in college. I changed my degrees 3 times, and which may or may not be advisable. But I think it's a good idea to find various internships and jobs that will help you decide whether or not the field you have chosen is for you.
Catherine?
Do hard things. Nothing great ever came from doing a bunch of little easy stuff.
Yeah, Luke?
I would say it's following on Catherine's point of doing hard things. I would say the highest paying job may not be the job that's best for you. I've had to take several steps back in pay for jobs that I loved, and I've been delighted with the outcome in each case. And so I would say to you, do not always be put off by the salary amount. You'll make it up with the love and passion, and you'll be rewarded later on.
I agree with AJ. As a student, challenge yourself to find internships that are going to be sort of leading into the careers that you want to have. You know, having hired a lot of entry-level people throughout my career, nobody really wants to hire you if your internships are lifeguard and babysitter, or work for my dad's print shop. So go out and get internships that are meaningful, that help you learn what it's like to be in the workforce, and that will help potential employers want you to be part of their team.
Okay, Jill, you get the last word.
Oh my goodness, all right. Never stop your drive for learning. Speak up, you will be heard. I say the same things to my 18-year-old son who's in college. Life's too short, be happy with everything you do.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let the panelists hear it. All right, this has been amazing. Getting to meet you. I love your welcome song, Joe. That's amazing. My favorite song of the night. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have good news and bad news. What do you want first? The bad news is we went over. As you can probably imagine. The good news is we have extended the evening with open bar. Not with open bar for 1 more hour. Go, hang out, have a good time. Before I do, we have one live auction event. One live auction where we raise your hands. Who wants 30 minutes with me? No, never mind. Okay. That'd be a weird thing to say. Put your hand down. So, we have one more live auction event, and again, all of these are donated. Marketing Club of New York, we're a non-profit organization. Everything you do goes towards students. It doesn't pay me, it goes to the students. So we have, this is a live one. Raise your hand if you're interested. We'll throw out some numbers, old-fashioned auctions out, and we'll drink, we'll have a good time, and that's it. There's 2 tickets to Army versus Notre Dame. Not Miami, well, sorry. Army versus Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium on November 23rd. I think Army's like undefeated and Notre Dame's 7-1. So, no, this is a live one. You just raise your hand. It's a $525 value. November 23rd, Yankee Stadium. We're starting the opening bid at $400. Does anyone want to bid? You can even donate it again if you want. $400. This might take 17 hours. I might just have to buy it myself. Anyone who... Chet, what do you get? 400? 400. Do I hear 450? Do I hear times are rough and maybe you don't have this money? 450.
I know, he's grossing out.
Wait, up there. All right, miss. 450? We have 500. 500. Notre Dame, 2 tickets.
Are they good seats?
Yeah, we'll get a nice briefing from the game. 450, is that going once? Going December 9th, it's at a bar. No one's talking, it's at a bar. Where it's in downtown Wall Street, it's like a holiday celebration. It's $25 for non-members, free for members, but here's the thing, it's free to sign up. The membership is free, thank you! Oh my God, you're making my job. Do you want to do this for another 25 minutes, please? No, you wouldn't want to, I guarantee you. And it's, yeah, so December 9th, downtown, Partn come to New York, come hang out, happy hour, it's gonna be fun. I have been your host, Vincent Petrofessa. Thank you so much, thank you.